add another 10 drops of sodium hydroxide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sodium hydroxide. See some cloudiness coming out. Agitate it. Okay, so we leave this here. Add 10 drops of distilled water. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Agitate it. Okay. Then we get another test tube with the same size. Okay. We pour some water in this test tube to be the same height as our copper test tube, and we bring them to centrifuge machine. So we bring our test tubes here. This is our centrifuge machine. We want to place a test tube, 2 test tubes across each other so we can balance the centrifuge machine well and it won't fall down to the ground. So we close it. Let me see if this is a good centrifuge machine or not. Let's see. Alright, so you can see. Yeah, we don't touch them until they stop. Okay, so centrifuging is to separate the solid from the liquid, so we can see the solid stays on the bottom, and we see some upper colorful solution, blue solution. So now let's just bring this back to our bench, and we'll see if we need to do something further. Now let me add 2 more drops sodium hydroxide. 2 more drops. See how if the upper solution turns cloudy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we saw something, right? Something going on. We still see some cloudiness coming from the upper solution. So let's just add 3 more. 1, 2, 3. We're trying to convert all the copper from the solution into the, wow, we have more here. So maybe we can add more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, each time I add 3 drops, I saw more more solid produced. I see a lot, right? See here? Can you see that? We see more, right? Okay, so let me maybe add 3 more drops, and then we go to centrifuge machine again. Okay, 3 more drops. Make sure everything is okay. Now we get more precipitate. So we are going to bring these 2 test tubes back to the centrifuge machine and centrifuge it. We place 2 test tubes across each other. Close this. Turn this on. Okay, now it's different, right? It's better. We may have a little bit bluish in the solution. Yeah, I think we can continue. So now we have a solid on the bottom. We try to get rid of the upper solution. We call it supernatant. I'm not going to pour the solution out. I'm going to use a pipette. Okay, just carefully get the upper solution in a waste bottle. So yeah, still have a little bit. So now we can just be very careful. Pull it out. All right, so that's waste, and this is a solid. We want to move forward. Okay, so let me pull this out a little bit. Okay, so to make it dry, a little bit drier. So we are going to heat this solid gently on the Bunsen burner. So let's do it. So we want to use a very gentle flame. Okay, we heat this test tube gently on the Bunsen burner flame. So we move test tube up and down so that the heat is not too much on some area. All right, so make sure the test tube don't point anyone. Okay, be careful. And when it's boiling, I can just move it away and wait until it quiets down, calm down, and then I can bring it back. right? So you can see the solid inside turns color, right? Turns different color. So when it begins boiling, I move it away from the flame, let it cool down, and I can bring it back. So until I don't see any blue color left. Okay, so I think we are done here. So everything should be, the reaction should be complete. Okay, we are done here. Okay, so this is the product from our last step. So now we are going to add 6 molar sulfuric acid here. We are supposed to add about 10 drops. Okay, let me get some pipette and do this slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we leave it here. Okay, so you can see the solid dissolves and turns to clear blue solution. And when I fill the test tube feels warm. Okay, hot, warm, warm, warm to hot. Okay, see all the solid, brownish solid dissolves, turns into blue solution, and the test tube feels warm. Okay, so then we don't have to add any more sulfuric acid in here. Okay, so now we add some distilled water in here. Distilled water. About half full of the test tube. So maybe not, let me see, maybe 1/3 of the test tube. Okay, so now the solution becomes lighter blue, lighter blue. Okay, I get a piece of magnesium. I sand it with sanding paper or steel wool, and I'm going to cut this into small pieces, and I place very small pieces in here in the test tube slowly. So let me cut this into small pieces. Yes, very tiny bit. Okay, I got one piece here. So we see a lot of bubbles coming out. Magnesium react with extra sulfuric acid in there. So magnesium is to get rid of the so first thing is we try to replace the copper out of the solution, get some copper out. Here you can see. So the reason I want to make sure that magnesium is small so that we can speed up the reaction. So I'm going to keep doing this, adding small pieces of magnesium in there to produce our copper for our final product. We have copper at the end, right? So we have copper on the bottom of the test tube. So we still have some bubbling. Magnesium is also reacting with sulfuric acid to produce hydrogen gas. So we waited for more than 20 minutes. We still see some bubbling here. So I think I'm going to move forward. This bubbling can be a little bit of magnesium still reacting with sulfuric acid. Since I waited too long, so I'm going to move forward. So what I'm going to do is a little bit different from what is written in the book. So I'm going to just use a pipette, get rid of the upper solution. Okay. And then use some distilled water to rinse the copper product, okay? So I'm going to use some distilled water to rinse it, to rinse off the sulfuric acid and some other impurity solutions. Okay, so this is our copper. In the lab manual it says we need to centrifuge it, but I think it's fine. We can do that too. So let me bring this to centrifuge machine, centrifuge it, so that we can separate the copper with the upper solution completely, and we are going to get rid of the upper solution. So I'm going to do this one time or two times, then we just assume the copper solid, the solid brown solid on the bottom is our final product, and I'm going to weigh it. And there's some water inside. I'm just pulling this out very carefully. Okay, so now in the test tube it's just like a copper rinsed by distilled water. I'm going to just heat it and make it dry, then we can measure the mass of the final product. We can see there's some impurities on the side of the test tube, and on the bottom is the copper. Let it dry completely, get rid of water in the test tube. Okay, now we suppose it's dry already. We assume it's completely dry. Let it cool down. Okay, we let it cool down.